The story you are about to hear could be fictional, but it could also be true. Dear listener, the choice and imagination is all yours. Make sure the room is dark and that you are alone with headphones on for the full experience. Enjoy. It was a dark night on September the 5th, 2005. A young woman at the age of 21, called Renata, was on her way to her late grandmother's house. She was to stay a few nights alone, to relax, she thought. And what better a place to relax in than the place where her grandmother passed away under mysterious circumstances. Rumors and trash talk, she thought. Grandma died of old age on her bed, she thought. Little did she know what awaited her. Little did she know indeed. Renata finally arrived after a long journey. She parked her car right in front of the house and unlocked the door. The house was small with 1 floor and 2 bedrooms. Renata found a light switch exactly where she remembered it would be. The hall was now all bright, and she could clearly see all the furniture and the hallway leading to the 2 rooms. At first glance, the house looked tidy and well arranged. It was as if someone had been tending to it. Or maybe someone was expecting her. She locked the door and placed her keys on the desk that stood beside the door. It was late night, so she didn't have any plans of staying up any longer. She headed towards the rooms, guided by the light emanating through the hallway. When she passed by her grandma's room, she touched the door, now locked ever since her grandma parted. For a moment, flashes of memories went through her head. But she shrugged it off and released her hand on the door. Her sight was now on the 2nd room, a few steps away. That's where she'll be staying, the guest room. She arrived at its doorstep and reached out for the light switch. Unfortunately, it didn't appear to work after multiple flicks. The light from outside was just enough for her to see where the bed was. So she decided to call it a day and figure out what to do about the switch tomorrow. She left the door open though, so as to have some light from the corridor. She pulled down her pants and left it on the floor, and then slowly sensed the bed as she moved into it. She then grasped the blanket, and it was now time to end the night. Or so she thought. But the night was just getting started. Her eyes began to gradually close. It was a long ride here, and she finally found some peace after a hectic week. Suddenly, the bed vigorously shook, and her eyes briskly opened. It was pitch black in the room now. The door she left open was closed. Maybe it was the wind. Yes, it must have been the wind, she thought. Did the bed just move? Was it an earthquake? Why are my pants still on? I could swear I took them off before sleep. I'm just so tired. I can't remember even the simplest of things. Renata kept talking to herself before she decided she'll just go back to sleep like nothing happened. But as soon as she laid her head back down on the pillow, she heard knocking on the door. She immediately sat up on the bed, as she didn't expect anyone from the family to follow her here. "Who is it?" she said. The knocking stopped the moment she spoke. "Who is it?" she asked louder this time.
You know, that's my spot. Oh, baby, stop.
Renata was overwhelmed with fear. The voice was that of her perished grandmother. It was her tone and her style too. This must be a nightmare, she thought. Renata slapped herself to wake up, but all she did was get her left cheek red as a tear of fear flew through it.
Come on now,
said her grandma as the knocking got harder and more frequent. Renata, still convinced this isn't real, decided to take the cliché route and hide under the bed as she stared in the dark towards the door. The knocking stopped again, but Renata's breathing remained heavy. It was a few moments of silence before she felt someone apply weight on top of her. Someone was on the bed. The door was still closed, or at least she thought so. It was dark to see anything, and it was now beyond her wildest fears. She placed her hands on her mouth to avoid being heard, but maybe it was a bit too late for that. Tears kept flowing over her horrified features as she pondered over whether making a run for it is an option here. And just as she thought that, the door opened on its own, so as to say, "Here, darkness isn't a hurdle anymore. Your path is clear." But who was behind the door? And who is still above her on the bed? And as if that wasn't enough, Renata felt movement beside her. She couldn't dare to turn and see what or who was there too. How did things escalate so quickly? She stayed down, but time was not on her side, as she now felt breath onto her right ear. It's getting closer. Too close now. Nata screamed and moved out of her hole and rushed towards the door. But just as she got to it, it closed in her face. She banged at the door and cried and screamed, but it was all in vain. The darkness was all she could see. Her heart speeds couldn't get any faster. She fell unconscious, and whatever lurked in the room now finally have her all for themselves. Is it the end so soon? Or is it merely just the beginning?